Hey guys, it's Grace here, and welcome back to the Addicted to Healing podcast. In today's episode, we are once again out here in Runyon Canyon in Los Angeles, California. This is where I filmed my last episode called Healing in LA, Go Watch It if you haven't. I just talked about my whole moving process here. And how healing it's been for me, how healing of a journey it has been for me truly as a 22-year-old girl who came here all on her own from Louisiana, from her small town, and left behind everything she's ever known. And in today's episode, we're kind of getting back to the topic of that healing journey. Specifically, what we're going to get into today, though, is something that I just realized earlier today, which inspired me to make this video in the first place. So currently, I'm in a hostel right now, still trying to get my own place, of course. And today is my last day in the hostel, so I just got everything out of my room, and I have it in storage right now until I get to the next place that I'm supposed to be in the world, okay? And I just finished eating my breakfast while I was there. After putting everything away, I actually had a job to go to today. I was supposed to be there at like 10 a.m. all the way in Anaheim, which is a 2-hour bus ride from where I'm at right now. I'm in Hollywood, and I'd never taken the bus for like that far of a trip, but I have been using it to get around a lot lately since I don't have a car, and it's been a pretty smooth ride so far. So, I've familiarized myself with everything. And I knew that this Anaheim trip would be a little different because I'd be on a few other buses I hadn't been on before, right? But I was like, well, I already did this job over the weekend. I worked this event, okay? And I was just basically a staff member there and handing out things and talking to people, and it was a really, really cool experience. I actually met so many cool people there, and some of them have subscribed to the channel because I told them about it. So if you guys are watching, hey, hi, hello. Yeah, I had a really fun weekend working this job, and they offered me more days for this week, and today was supposed to be the start of this work week, and I got myself up pretty early today. I was supposed to leave the hostel at 7 a.m. and I did, and I made it to 2 of my buses, but when I got to Union Station, I had no idea where the freak I was, so that was such a hassle. I got a little lost and ended up just going back home anyways, and I just had my breakfast and was hanging out by myself for a little bit at my hostel. And then while I was there, I was scrolling through Backstage and Indeed. I started with Indeed because I wanted to find more event work. That's what I've been looking into since this past weekend because I had a lot of fun doing it, and it's my first time ever doing anything like that, and it was a really cool experience. But then I hopped on Backstage, and Backstage I've mostly been trying to book more artsy things like music videos, modeling, commercial shoots, things like that. That's also how I booked this recent event job, so I was also kind of hoping to find some more stuff like that on there. But as I was going through the things I was applying to, it kind of made me realize wait, these are all cool gigs to book, right? And I've only booked 2 things, one being the first ever music video I did for some small artist, my second week of living here, and then 2 was just this event that I did over the past weekend. So I've really only had 2 jobs since being here for a month and a half, and I haven't found myself a regular job lately. But the event stuff has been paying really, really good. It's just kind of sucks though that I'm not gonna be paid immediately with that. But anyways, besides money and working, what I realized was that I don't know, I was just on there and I was wait, I don't mind casting myself as an extra or whatever for these things. But I just remembered back to when I did that music video earlier in the month for this small artist, and there was only 4 of us on set being recorded, the artist and then me and 2 other girls, okay, and we were just little background party dancers, and it was a really, really cool, fun vibe. And it was my first time really feeling super comfortable on camera and just comfortable to dance crazy and look a fool in front of other people in a room, because I'd always been really struggling to just let myself be free and wild and not fear anyone's judgments of me. And I didn't really feel judged that day. They were encouraging us to look crazy and act stupid, and but also make it cute and fun, and I really, really, really liked that, and I enjoyed it. But I also remember what I really enjoyed most was the fact that I knew I was on camera, and I knew it was for a music video. And if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I've always discussed that my main dream in life is to be a musician. I've always loved music more than anything in life, and it's just always wanted to be a successful singer, and I do have another channel where I post my music, but I've been so on and off with it for like such a long time now. Last year was my first year like officially recording my songs, which I'd been meaning to do since I was like 17, I think, because I had been writing songs all my life, but I just never really got into like making the songs official, especially since realizing around like age 15 that like, oh, I don't actually have a natural ability to sing, but I just kept remembering and feeling like, oh, well, this is my dream anyways. Like all I ever do is write songs. It's like the way I cope with my emotions, and it's just a really fun creative task for me. It really lights me up inside, and I just feel so expansive and free with it, and like my mind is just a playground when I'm songwriting, and honestly that's how it is with any creative thing I do. But upon realizing this, I was just like remembered like, damn girl, like I'm the fucking star to, like I was like nice, you know, being a background extra for that person's video, but I remembered like even like feeling like even like the time I was doing that, I remember feeling like, dude, like this is nice and all, but like I think, you know, I still want to be the fucking star. And that's kind of how I felt while I was on set. I was like, you know, like I know I'm an extra and all right now, but I kind of feel like I'm the star right now, because like I was kind of directing the girls to like to help out like with what we were doing, like so like obviously like the artist was like in front of us, and then like to the side was one girl, to his other side was the other girl, and then I was kind of right behind him. But I was like, hey guys, like are we okay with these positions, or do you want to like switch? And everyone was like, no, like I'm good. I was like, okay, cool. And then I also proposed the idea of like, hey, well, like what if like while he's like performing in front of us, like in the background, what if we just like jump around and like switch to the other side, switch positions with each other, like in between takes, or like, you know, or just while they're filming. And I was just like, you know, noticing that like, you know, the girls were there just agreeing with what I was saying, and it's like not like I was like trying to like overtake or anything, but I was just like making little suggestions, and like they just kind of went with it. And I was like, wow, that's kind of really cool, because like I've always been a person who felt like no one really gives a fuck about my intake on anything. And I mean, like there's been instances though when I was a kid where people kind of placed me into like a leadership role, but I never really understood why. Because, you know, like for a long time I just hadn't really woken up to my potential as a person, because I've just been through so much stuff that like people had really had me convinced that I wasn't really anything special for some time now. But obviously I've like been remembering just who the fuck I am again for once, and really finding ownership in that, and, you know, accepting that I am a star, that I am the star. I am the star of the show. I am the star of my own show. And it's about time I start acting like the main character in my own life. And I just remember on that video set that like, hey, I'm kind of like I'm not acting like an extra. Like that's so cool. And it's like, I feel like that's how I would be if I were on set of my own music video anyways. I feel like I'd definitely be doing some sort of the direction with it. But yeah, it was just really cool to like actually feel like I was a part of something, and people were really like listening to my intake. And like even at the end of the shoot when we were all going home, like I was the one who asked the girls for their Instagrams. I was like, hey guys, like before we go, do you want to exchange Instagrams with each other? And like it was just so like cool and like girly and fun. But like that also just like made me realize like, wow, it's like not like I'm doing all the work here or anything, but it's like, you know, like damn, I'm really kind of like the initiator here. Like I'm kind of like taking on this leader type role, which I didn't really like intend to. Like this was my first time ever being on set for anything ever. Okay, so it's like I didn't really know what I was getting into, and I didn't, you know, expect myself to like be like such a leader or whatever, like, but it was really interesting though that like I was really the one kind of like making all these suggestions and like, you know, kind of like leading the pack, and like it was really, really fun. And I remember like while like even being recorded, I was like, you know, like I like this, I like having all this screen time. And like honestly, I think I was behind the artist because I kind of like felt like I was being the artist, if we're being honest. Like bitch, like yeah, I may be behind him, but like girl, I'm like low-key still center stage, you know. You just see him a little more than me. But yeah, like, and besides that too, even like just coming here to LA, I've actually, most of the people I've met are like musicians, and I met also like a bunch of other people who just work in like production and stuff like that. So it's like, hello, like connection after connection, right? But yeah, just thinking back to that music video set and how I was feeling, it did bring me back to my like first week here, because I did that my second week here. I booked my music video, okay, but the first week here, like first couple of days, I was staying in another hostel downtown, and like the first day out, I was like at Whole Foods just chilling, eating my little lunch, and then like these three guys come up next to me, and I heard them talking for a little bit, and finally they started a conversation with me, and we get to talking, and I find out that these two guys, and I think one of them is their dad, but like the two guys, like they make music too. They were the first set of people I met who are also musicians here, and they're not from LA, they're from like Northern California, but they were just visiting, and we had a really great conversation, and like we really like connected, like, you know, not just like networking connected, but like connected on like a mental level and like a personal level, like, yo, like we're here for the same reasons, you know, we do the same things, we have the same passions, and we both just believe in ourselves. And the one guy that I was talking to, he seemed like my age too, which made it feel even cooler and closer in terms of all of that, you know. And then yeah, like we got each other's like Instagrams too, and like just checked each other out, and it was really cool. And I really liked that. It was like kind of like my first official day in LA. It was that like, oh, I just met someone else who like also does music just like me. And that's like all like leading up basically to what I'm trying to say here, is that I just like, not like I forget that like that's my passion or anything, but I think just being such a creative person, I'm always like so open to diving into other things all the time, especially like with this podcast, which like I've definitely fallen in love with so much, and like I felt such a like stable source. I don't know, like I've just found such a source of stability in this, right? It feels so like me, and like I'm just free to be me, and I'm proud to be me on here, and like I don't really care who's watching. I didn't even tell anyone that I started this channel up until like a month ago. Like I didn't tell anybody that I knew, like from my hometown or anything. No friends, no family. I just been posting on here for like the last 7 months straight, seeing who would like give a fuck, you know, about what I have to say. And look, a lot of people have given a fuck, so like, you know, clearly I'm doing something right. But like with finding a home in that though, it's like I did start to kind of fear though that like, wait, because of this, I've like kind of been pushing my music off, which like wasn't really intentional, but I'd kind of already been pushing off my music like here and there just all the time, especially a lot last year, even though like that was the year that I had really gotten into finally recording my music for the first time ever, and like really dedicating myself to it literally every day. And that was such a good like growing experience for me. It was very, very challenging mentally though, and I would still get frustrated a lot of the times, like, you know, realizing like, oh my god, like my voice isn't sounding how I want it to sound. But I kept showing up every day because I was like, you know, like I've put this off for too long in the first place, and be so silly of me to just give up right now. And I had a really good thing going with that for like a good 3 months. I think like the first 3 or 4 months of last year, I was literally in my house, in my room, recording every single song I've ever written, like every single day, like 20 times over, because, you know, I just had to get the vocals just right. But then like, you know, somewhere along the way, like last summer, I just kind of took a break from it. I got a little burnt out anyways, and then I got really, really distracted by the people that were in my life, and just kind of like putting stuff like that first before my actual passions in life. And I obviously hadn't started this podcast just yet, so really at the time it was just the music that I was putting off when that was all happening. And you know, then ultimately I ended up paying the price for it, like big time. And I just went through a lot within these last few months, which obviously led to me starting this podcast, because I was really, really alone and just really having to find myself again. And I guess, you know, in this process of finding myself again, I am remembering like time and time again that music really is like my like biggest passion. I'm not going to say it's my only passion. That's something I realized too, just like in being alive for the last 22 years, is that you can always have more than one passion. And my podcast is definitely one of my newest passions for sure. And it's a really, really big one too. But it's like, the music is definitely something that's never ever going away for me. And there's so many times where I sit and think that to myself, and like always feel that that's true, but I also just go so back and forth with like, okay, but like, is it really right for me? Is it my purpose? Is it like this? Is it that? Blah blah blah. And it's like, I've definitely found purpose in this podcast, and I have a video on that. But like, I think like even purpose stuff aside though, it's still very important to like tend to what really just lights you up inside. what makes you feel super happy, and just whatever like big dream that you just want to really, really, really freaking accomplish. And like, this is actually really funny. I'm not even joking. I might like take a picture and insert this here, but on my walk to Runyon Canyon just now, on the sidewalk, somebody wrote "dream come true," and I just passed that on my way up here. And that's so funny because, like I said, like my whole reason for coming here today was to film this video about this dream that I really want to come true. I mean, hello, it's definitely a part of the reason why I'm here in LA. Anyways, like, duh, this is where stuff like that happens. And I'm from Louisiana, like North Louisiana, a very small town. Stuff like that does not happen there. Maybe New Orleans, but no, where I'm from, it's like so inaccessible. Like, a studio is so fucking inaccessible. Like, I think really the only way to make it out there is if you just have like that natural talent, or if you just do what I do and run the freak away with whatever money you have and just try to do everything yourself, because it kind of seems like that's all you can fucking do. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I've been doing it by myself anyways, so it's like, if I'm gonna keep doing it by myself, I guess I'll just do it here. But I mean, now I'm in a place where it's like a lot easier to not have to be so alone in this. And I have like, and back to what I was saying with like meeting all these other people who do the things that I want to do in life. Like, I've met like a few more actual musicians who like, are taking their craft very, very seriously. And obviously I think these have all been signs from the universe telling me to take that just as serious as well. And I don't think this is like, oh, like stop the podcast and just get back to the music and only focus on that. No, but it's like I've had so much time away from it for so long now, like, and that has obviously been due to like my living situation shifting like every other month, and just figuring out how to do everything by myself right now. And I, obviously don't have my own private place to live right now, so it's like I don't know when or where we're gonna like get this music stuff figured out, but it's very, very clear, very, very apparent that we need to, because my soul has been calling me and still is calling me to do it and go after it full force. And I really love that I know I still want to do that, and I really appreciate that the signs are always around me anyways, even when I'm doubting it. And like I always just get scared to like promote myself on like TikTok and shorts and YouTube anyways, because people are so mean, especially when like it comes to being that vulnerable and like something artistic. Like, everyone just has their own opinion about every single artist and everything, and I know that's just what comes with it anyways, and it's just something I'm gonna have to get used to. But like for the last year, it's something I'm still getting used to, and it's like I know that's okay. Like, that's not like a flaw in me. Like, not everyone just like has that natural ability to shake things off like that, right? And I did get a lot of criticism when I was first starting out with posting everything, but I haven't really deleted anything I posted that has gotten the amount of criticism that I've gotten. Anyways, like all my music videos, anything I have on my YouTube, like it's still there for a reason, because I've said this before on that channel, like if I posted it, it's because I liked it enough to post it, and if I haven't deleted it, it's because like I don't hate it enough to delete it, like I think it's still worth being there, even if like I know too it's not like my best work. At least like in the future, when like people are actually finding out about me and shit and wanting to know like my journey, they'll really be able to see the fucking journey and see what I started with, and like that'll honestly just make my story that much more inspirational, don't you think? And it's not like I'm necessarily here to be super inspirational, whatever. Like, I'm here to do whatever I want to do because I fucking can. Like, I just want to be free and happy and not stuck doing shit I don't want to do, and don't want to be a fucking slave to the dollar bill anymore. So, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. If that's music, if that's a podcast, like, I don't need to give a fuck about what anyone thinks of it, whether it's good or bad or whatever. Like, if it makes me happy, that should be enough, And I know it's just like not always easy, and like I'm not always gonna feel super happy about it, but I don't know, maybe I will actually when I just like decide to. I guess, like all this, everything in life is just such a mental decision, it's just a mindset shift, and it's just like you can choose to like focus on the negatives that people are saying about you and your craft, your work, whatever, or you can just focus on the positive feeling you get when you make it, and the peace and serenity that comes in knowing that that's what you're supposed to do with your life, because it really just makes you happy, and that's what life is about, man. I think life is to be fully enjoyed to its fullest extent, and I'm just the living proof of that. So I really need to execute it to the fullest freaking potential, man, and just stop selling myself short for whomever, because I've just like definitely fallen into the role of wanting to be this type of person just for like approval of like other people, just to have friends around, just be someone I'm not, when like this whole creative side of me is like burning with so much passion. I don't need it to like burn alive, like I need it to stay alive and stay burning, but I don't need it to like burn to the ground just because like some people who aren't even that cool, who aren't even that creative, who aren't even that nice don't think I'm cool, don't think I'm creative, don't think I'm nice, like the fuck, like, yeah. But yeah, that's just like wow, man, like even in like being here, it's like, it's just so funny how I like, it's not like I forget like that's what I want to do with my life. It's just, I don't know, I guess I just keep like trying to convince myself that like I don't have to go so hard for it, but I really do, because it's my dream, okay? And it's like, I don't know, like I know things can be easy, like randomly, like magic is all around us all the time, right? But I also feel like some things you just really have to fight for. But I don't know, maybe the fight can be easy now, because like I said, like I'm in a place where like a lot more people are a lot more supportive of stuff like this. So it's like, maybe just like the more confidence I have with my craft and the fact that like, yeah, I do make music and yeah, I'm proud of it. Maybe that'll just really attract the right people more and the right opportunities, and and maybe I'll finally stop running away from it. And like, because I'm always so shy, like telling people about it too. But it's like when I like meet another person who actually does the music, they're always just so excited to hear about it from me. And it's like, you know what? Why don't I just get excited about it? And even like people that like I've told that I do music to, that like they don't do music themselves, they're always like excited that I do it, and they are like, they've been like trying to put me on to other people that they know that do music too, and they're like, yeah, like you should talk to this person, like get connected with them. And like that was like a really nice thing that like these people have been doing for me, and it's so sweet, and it's like, oh, like thank you. But I'm like, but now it's like, damn, like why wasn't I doing that myself? Like I know it's like hard to like believe in yourself like all the fucking time and shit, but it's like, man, like I gotta fucking do it, bro. I just gotta do it, broski. Like like all these people that I just met that like don't know anything about me, but actually having real support for me, more support than people who've been knowing me my whole life. And it's always felt like I couldn't tell if it was real or fake or whatever, or realizing that some of it has been fake, like yeah, but whatever. It's just like, wow, like the signs have just been all around me, and they always will be in that regard. And it's just like, yeah, I am a musician. I do make music. I'm a singer, and one day you guys will actually see me on stage, and I'm gonna go to fucking open mic nights, and I'm gonna keep getting better, working on my voice, and I'm gonna figure out when and where to record my songs again. Because normally I would just record in my bedroom, but I don't have my own bedroom right now. So, when we get one, or when we commit to like a studio at some point, like shit's getting done, and you're gonna see me all over your Spotify and Apple Music and playlists, and like, fuck yeah, man, I'm about to make the fucking music of my dreams and make my fucking dreams come true, just like the sidewalk said. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I hope this is encouragement and inspiration for anyone else going through the same thing, feeling the same way that I feel, and like always questioning if what they're doing is right or wrong for themselves. I think it's right, and it's like, I know it's like a really shaky ground, and you just do question a lot, but if you keep coming back to it and you do find the love in it, or it finds you, I feel like you got nothing to worry about. Even if it looks scary and it looks like you should worry, I don't think you got anything to worry about. Like, just make your fucking art, man. And yeah, like, just do it. Even if like you don't have the people supporting, because bitch, like I mentioned this in my last video, I've never really had much support in my life. Like, I'm just now starting to see a little bit of it, okay? And I'm not even like exactly where I want to be at in my career just yet, okay? So yeah, I'm just taking, the goodness that I'm getting right now and manifesting more. And yeah, I hope you guys do the same too. So thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Bye. Mwah.